Are you kidding me right now? 211 to 186. The Western Conference got 211 put on their head and lost by 25 points. But they loaded Western Conference roster. Loaded. Everybody was cracking jokes for the game, saying this Western Conference team might be the best team ever assembled, yada, yada, yada. And they got bounced by 30 and got an NBA scoring record put on their head. 211 points in the All-Star game. Unacceptable. But shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. Shout out to Damian Lillard, who got MVP. Shout out to Jaylen Brown. They came out there and put on the show. Shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns, who had 50 in a losing effort. But shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns having 50. Now, I went on Twitter and I said, how would y'all fix the current NBA All-Star game? So let's go ahead and read a few of these comments and react to them. Winner gets home court advantage in the finals. How would you delegate that? Given that there's players from the Boston Celtics, New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Milwaukee Bucks on one team, right? If they win, how would you delegate that? In terms of if you're saying the conference, the whole conference gets home court advantage in the finals, okay, I can rock with that a little bit. Go back to the format from last year. I kind of like that format, honestly. You're starting over in each quarter, and then in the fourth quarter, you have a target score, which I feel like was more competitive. I feel like we were seeing the most competitive or the most competition we've seen in the All-Star game when it was the captains picking teams. I feel like that was more pride on the line there, because like you don't want to be the last pick, because if you're the last pick, you have something more to prove. So I feel like that was everybody's. I don't know. I felt like it was just more competitive when it was captains picking teams. And especially when they went to that Kobe format that they honored Kobe with after his passing. Rest in peace. The winners get bread or home court advantage in the finals. I like that. They had the formula switch back. Switching back was unnecessary in my opinion. I think the switchback was hoping that we can spark even more of a competitive nature. Because if you go back to watching when Kobe and MJ and them was playing, even in The Last Dance, they was out there really competing. You feel what I'm saying? When they was rocking their own team's jerseys. Maybe we should go back to that. You know, maybe they'll have more pride and courage when they have their team on their chest instead of just saying West versus East. I don't know. But I wonder when the NBA All-Star Game stopped becoming competitive. Everyone gets a WWE type interest. Players, coaches on the winning team get extra money. Total points equal a donation to a nonprofit. Winning conference gets automatic home court in the finals. Okay, that's a lot of, I'm not sure what this one has to do with anything. Everyone gets a WWE type entrance. What does that have? What kind of correlation does that have there, brother man? I like the extra money, and I like the automatic home court in the finals. I can rock with that. Competitiveness is lacking as some defensive bonus. What? Oh, okay. Maybe you're saying, whoever, but then that means you won the game. Whoever scores the least amount gets X, Y. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that would work, man. That's difficult. Actually, have everyone play serious against each other. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell people to play serious when they're getting paid millions and there's other NBA players on vacation during this time, meaning that they had more days or more off days to, during this All-Star break than people playing the game, because the next games start on Thursday. So now you get Monday, Tuesday, and then you're back with the team pretty much on Tuesday night, Wednesday, play Thursday, right? So I think the Cleveland Cavaliers play, the Brooklyn Nets play. So it's like you right back at it. So you didn't get a whole week off. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know. They already went away from what's working, picking teams and having target scores. I agree with that. Having them play dodgeball. This is interesting because the Pro Bowl kind of went to this route, right? They stopped all of the tackle football that they were doing for the Pro Bowl, and they made it flag football. Now they have dodgeball games and all that. Now it's actually pretty entertaining. But the NBA, it's not really a super contact sport like football, so how will we implement a dodgeball game and make them compete then? I feel like they would still compete in a dodgeball game, absolutely. But it's like, what are the fans going to pay and watch to see? Is it a game of dodgeball? I don't know. Maybe throw a dodgeball in there within the All-Star weekend and have it fun, right? I think during the game, there's more stuff to add, which I'm going to give my spiel after I read all these comments and go through you guys' suggestions. Having winning players and coaches get at least $2 million each. That'll be a nice incentive right there. Absolutely. Shoot, I know I'm making millions, but I get an extra $2 million for participating and competing in the All-Star game? Absolutely. Replace it with Legends All-Star game where it's all the retired NBA players playing again. And I tell you what, that game right there, that shit might be 50-49, nigga, and they might not even get past halftime. Let's not do that, brother. That's a terrible idea. GG's in the chat. Home court advantage cash prize winner. Winning team gets $1 million prize. Yeah, I think everything with money is an incentive. I think that's always nice. Like kind of like the in-season tournament. Invite players who actually good enough and want to play everybody, acting like they too good for it, but claim it's an honor. But then that's tough. So if you do this, if you invite players who are actually good and want to play, right, which is every NBA player is good enough to be in the NBA because you're in the NBA, but then it's like the viewership might go down because that's not the fans' favorite players to watch play, if that makes sense. So if you have the eighth man on the roster coming, starting an all-star game, right, you have five eighth mans or 8 or 9 men, right? And then it's like, I don't know if a lot of people are going to pay to watch or pay to see that and watch on TV, like watch that on TV. I don't think that's the formula that's a recipe for disaster financially. Kenny, Shaq, Ernie, Chuck draft 4 teams, 12-minute games, so that you still have 4 quarters, 2 semifinal games, and a third-place game at the halftime, a championship game. Shorter games, playoff format, creates urgency and better defense. So kind of like how they do with the Rising Stars Challenge, where they have about 4 teams, and it's like win or go home. Like, and then I think they play to 40 points each game, and then they have a championship game, which would mean if you win, you go to the championship game, you play 25. That's not a bad idea. The Rising Stars Challenge is actually kind of more competitive than the All-Star game, which is a problem. Each player on the winning team gets $1 million. I like that too. I think the baseline, either like $500K or $1 million per player for the win. I think $1 million would be an amazing incentive. We would definitely see some people playing defense then. I guarantee you that. The 50-point target. I don't know why everyone's saying money will make them compete like they don't got hella M's already. But this is the thing, man. We watched the in-season tournament. They were competing for $500,000 per player. Just $500,000. Imagine competing for $1 million in an All-Star game where it's like, you know what? This is the All-Star break right here. Usually we're going on vacation if we're not here. Or players with like LeBron and them, they're perennial All-Stars, so they have real estate probably in every single city that that the NBA is about to host the All-Star game. In terms of it's in San Francisco next year, they probably already got their shit set up. It's in LA the year after that, they probably already got their stuff set up for 2 years out of you know what I'm saying, down the line. So like they're perennial All-Stars, so their off season and their vacation week during All-Star break is going to be during All-Star break at All-Star break. So I think that's a good way to make them even compete anymore. Make them compete even more, throwing $1 million on it, because we've seen what they did for $500,000. For $500,000, by the way, FYI. Add an incentive to play defense, but what would that be though? That's the question. What would that be? Money, incentives. People saying money and S or whatever, like we didn't do all that stuff last year and before that. It worked for the first year, but that was also Kobe death year, so but they just don't care. It's literally a weekend of rest and chill entertainment. No way they're going to try hard. But this is kind of where I disagree. We did all the money stuff and all that for the charities. So every time, each quarter you win, there's the money that goes to the charities. We're talking about actually putting money in their pocket, which is kind of a different incentive. If I'm playing for charities, of course I'm going to play hard because I want my charity to win the money. But also, if I'm playing for charity and I'm playing for money in my pocket, I don't know. I think that might go a different direction. Now, I think we have a few quoted tweets as well. I don't know how to get to the quoted tweets. Okay, this is how you start. Okay. Split the teams up into 3 groups of 4 and have a 3v3 tournament. I'm not opposed to that. A little FIBA 3v3 action. It's not bad. I kind of like that. Give the winning team an incentive like an in-season tourney to make them play defense. I agree, but what would that be? There's probably, let me see. We can't make them play hard, so you tell me. Oh, I'm asking. If I knew the answers, you feel me, I would tell you. I'm going to give my opinion after all this, though. This question has been asked for years now. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Let me and Tim Duncan be all right. That's enough. It's enough, buddy. I think that's pretty much all the reactions to that tweet. So, now, Kobe Bryant has something to say about this years ago. I want to tap in and listen to this, bro. I think we need a reminder from someone who's competed at the highest level in All-Star games. So.
I think the All-Star game in general needs a little revamping because it used to be competitive.
Yeah.
It used to be competitive, and fans want to see the best pickup game in the world. That's what this is. They don't want to see you running up and down and dunking and doing all this crazy. They want to see what happens when you get this collection of best basketball players on the planet, and they play and they go head up against each other.
Man.
I mean, you guys play harder at a pickup game in UCLA.
For real.
And ain't billions of people watching.
For real.
Definitely do.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely do.
They got to turn it
The
up.
All-Star game needs a little changing. I always love competing in them. I didn't lose many of them.
Nah,
me and CP used to talk all the time.
One of the
like,
ones. You took it serious.
Yeah, we went. Like, I don't think me and CP, when we played together in the All-Star game, I don't think we've ever lost a game.
Yeah.
And we used to look at each other and say, okay.
Going serious.
Let's
They
go.
don't want to play, we going to play.
Fourth quarter, let's go get them.
And that's what we're missing. We're missing that hunger, man. We're missing that freaking hunger. RP to Mamba. But also, too, I think I missed one quoted tweet that I did see that I really wanted to talk about. Where's it at? Here it is. Okay. For one, it needs to be incentivized and have actual stake and implications. Maybe winning conference gets a tiebreaker for home court advantage in the NBA Finals or something, or the winning conference gets a play-in tournament and the loser doesn't. This is what I want to touch on. Pause. Wow. I want to piggyback on this. Imagine you're playing for your conference, right, during the All-Star game. The winning conference gets a freaking play-in tournament, which means the top 10 teams or the top 6 teams are solidified, and then 7 through 10 get the play-in. If you lose the All-Star game, the other conference only gets the top 6 in there. Now, I don't know how that would work because you would be at a disadvantage in terms of games played and series played or something like that. But it's kind of interesting to see how they can flip that. Maybe it's like, okay, for the winning team, right, the winning conference, you get the play-in tournament. For the losing conference, you get, a play-in tournament, but it's like the people who won the play-in tournament, so 7th and 8th seed, they would have to play all the games on the. I don't know how it will work. I just like that idea. Statistically, financially, it's 100% not going to work at all. It's just food for thought. Like, damn, what if they played for something of that stature? Like, we're playing for our whole conference now, right? Let alone the home court advantage. Now we're playing for the right to have our conference have more of an ability to have the play-in tournament. Or you say your conference wins, there's no play-in tournament, the top 8 get in. The other conference has a play-in tournament, which means that the 7 through 10 are fighting for their life. But if you win the All-Star game, 7 and 8 are safe and solidified, so there's no play-in. Maybe that might be more of an incentive because it's like, I don't got to worry about the play-in tournament no more. I just got to get to the 8th seed and we good money. But I don't know. That would backfire. I might be contradicting myself a lot, but I really like that statement a lot. I think that would add a different twist to it for sure. Now, for my opinion on how I think we could fix the NBA All-Star game, I think a few things. One, if you're not going to compete, let's just go ahead and give them an award, right? Let's just say, okay, you were you were selected for the All-Star game this year. Here's a ring, here's a trophy, here's a plaque, whatever. Enjoy your week off, you know what I'm saying? Go to vacation. But then that would take away from all the All-Star festivities because there'll be no All-Star game, right? 2, if you get selected for an All-Star game, I feel like if you're saying, you know what, I appreciate this, but I know I really want to be on some chill mode, relax type stuff. You nominate a player you would like to see in the All-Star game that's not selected. Then that way, the person that gets selected might be a little more hungry to play in your honor. You feel what I'm saying? So if it's like a person like LeBron who's played in 90,000 of these, you're like, you know what? I really want to chill this year. I'm going to go nominate X, Y, and Z. Boom. Throw them in there, right? Throw them in the pot. I think that would be an interesting way to add a creative incentive to the game. Also add, like I said, money implications for each player. The charities and money in the players' pockets, I feel like would be dope. And yeah, I think a real stake incentive, something like this, would be huge. I don't know exactly what that is. I have to fine tune that a little bit, but I think the conference should be playing for the conference. So in terms of if I'm in the Western Conference, I'm playing for my whole Western Conference. In terms of if we're able to win something, I'm playing for that. So, for example, if I win in the whole Western Conference, everybody on every single team in the Western Conference gets a free house. We're playing for a whole conference. You know what I mean? I think that's something that would add a little more stakes to it and more competitive. It'd bring the more competitive nature to the game. But yeah, man, that's my spiel. Let me know in the comments below how you guys would fix it or what the NBA needs to do to moving forward. Should it go back to the other format? I think they should go back to the captain format. I think after this, they're going to go back to picking teams and figuring out how to get more competitive within that again because what they showed today, 211 points, was just abysmal. It was ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. So let's see what happens next year in 2025 in the Bay Area. Hopefully your boys in the All-Star Celebrity Game, man. That would be phenomenal. Like I said, that's pretty much a hometown game for me. So sayonara, that's my spiel. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. We out this time. Hit that like button. Yes.